Okay guys, so we have some special triangles today, and what we're going to be talking about is these are going to create some more proportions within these triangles. So I don't really care about this up here. What I want you to know is that we could have proportions, small triangles to large triangles. Just really pay attention to what they give you and just go from there. So if we go ID over IV, then we're going to go DE over EO. And if we go ID over DV, since we went the small one over the big one, we're going to go the small one over the big one on the other side. Okay? Now, example 2 is a little bit more complex since there are 3 different parallel lines, but it's okay. AY over LA. So we went kind of this medium piece over this small piece. So YE over ER. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. LY over PL. Okay, well, PL matches with RS and LY matches with RY. So we're just kind of matching up sides to match up the proportions. These are just general proportions. AY over YR. Well, AY kind of matches up with, so AY over YR would be AE. So AY is the small triangle, and so is AE. That is also part of the small triangle. On the other hand, YR is part of this medium triangle. What else is part of this medium triangle would be LR, and it's also parallel to AE, which we want in the proportion, so LR. And finally, PA over ES. PA and ES match up, so AY matches up with EY. And again, these are almost easier with numbers, but those are the general. Now this copied weird, this X is supposed to be right here. I'm just going to set these up for you. You guys are really good with proportions and solving them. If we go 32 over 24, we can set it equal to 40 over X. Then to solve for that, we would just cross multiply. Remember, you could always simplify this to make the math easier on yourself. Over here, this X belongs right here. So if we go 8 over 5, that would be equal to 10 over X. Now, this third example is a little bit harder. We have 8 over 20 for sure, because they're parallel lines, segments. That is small over big. So we want to set it equal to small over big. Small is definitely 5, but big is X plus 5. And I'm not going to solve this all the way because I want it to be a short video, easier to upload. But remember, when we do solve proportions like these, we have to distribute. Okay? Now, angle bisectors of a triangle divides the opposite sides into 2 segments whose lengths are proportional to the lengths of the two other sides. So when you have a triangle that looks like this, all we have to do is take these two sides and put them in a ratio and set it equal to the ratio of these two sides. And cross multiply and solve. So 10 over 14 is equal to x plus 2 over 2x plus 1. So we cross multiply. I get 10 times 2x plus 1 equals 14 times x plus 2. This is 20x plus 10 equals 14x plus 28. Once I get my x's together and my constants together, this gives me 6x equals 18, which gives me x equals 3. But look what it's asking me to find. It says to find RV. Well, RV is equal to x plus 2. Well, x is equal to 3, so 3 plus 2 equals 5. So the answer to that problem is actually 5. Remember, if I'm going too fast, feel free to pause me. Now, we're going to do this the same way. This one says to find y. So 4y minus 2 over 24 equals 2y over 14.4. We're going to cross multiply. So 24 times 2y, that is 48y, equals 14.4 times 4y minus 2. So 48y, we distribute this 14.4y, equals 57.6y minus 28.8. I'm going to subtract the 57.6y from both sides. So I get negative 9.6y equals negative 28.8. Divide both sides by negative 9.6. And I get that y is equal to 3. Okay, so these last ones are thinkers. We want to find the missing coordinate for D. We also want to find the scale factor, which we can do. We could already find the scale factor. Remember, this right here would be the origin, so that's 0, 0. So from here to A, that's 2 units. And from A to C, from 2 to 4, that's another 2 units. From O to B, from 0 to 3, that's 3 units. And then from B to D, that's what we don't know. That's X units, okay? We could find the scale factor already. If we do big over, or small over big, small is 2. Big is 2 plus 2, which is 4. So scale factor is a half. So we've already got that knocked out. So to figure out D, all we would need to do is find the length of X and then count that many units over, and then we would have the coordinates of D. So I know this is super easy because 2 over 2 would be equal to 3 over X. Well, that's 1, so 1 would be equal to 3 over 3. So X would have to be equal to 3. Well, if we would count 3 units over from 3, we would be at 6. So D would have to be at 6, 0. So now I encourage you to try this one. It's the same thing. Sorry guys, my dog is whining. So again, from 0 to B we have 6. And from B to D we have from 6 to 15, that is 9 units. So if we want the scale factor right away, when we do small, which is 6, over big, which is 15, and simplify that, we can take a 3 out. That would be 2/5. So we already have our scale factor. From 0 to A is 10. And then we just need to know from A to C, which is X. So we need to know this distance right here. So 6 over 9 equals 10 over X. So 6X equals 90. And X is equal to 15. So if X is equal to 15, what is 15 units away from 10? And you should say 25. So since we're on the x-axis, that's why it's 25, 0. So those two are definitely thinkers, but definitely not something outside of your doability, I guess. Okay, so that should really help with your assignment for this week, which is this right here, which is 2 pages long, and it ends right here. Okay?